y'all, Natalie here, and happy National Scrapbooking Day. This page is made for my challenge that I'm putting up in the message boards on a cherryontop.com. So I will link down below with everything you need to know. But I'm using the new Paige Evans Wonders collection, my gel press. I'm going to make a mess. But the focus of this challenge that I give to you is to use layered die cuts. So go on this journey with me. I am using clear gesso and some white background cardstock as my background. And then I feel like this medallion paper from Paige Evans screams to be fussy cut. So I'm not super huge into fussy cutting. So for me to say that, I feel like it really is a fussy cuttable paper. So I picked 3 color medallions out of that paper to cut. And then I used some scrap papers from my stash to die cut different medallions, circles, and florals from a manual die cut machine, my Sizzix Big Shot. And now I'm working on the background. So so back to that, I cut those pattern papers from my stash in the same corresponding colors, yellow, green, and pink. So now I'm going to do 3 sections on my white background in those same colors, and I'm going to use those as the anchor for all of my die cut layers. So now I've added some watercolor sprays and some potted watercolors as well as some ink sprinkles there, and then I'm just letting it go in the top section of that paper where I want the yellow to be. I use my gel press. Now you could turn your gel press over and actually kind of see where you're placing things. I did not do that though, because I did think that it would drip, which of course, when you smoosh it down, the drips are gonna be smooshed out. Obviously, that's a good word. But it's also just like messier. So I just do it this way. I know that the color is gonna saturate the area which I'm touching with my paper because of the smooshing effect of the gel press. So I'm okay with it. Same technique here, except I'm going in also and adding in a little bit of the potted orange color, because in the medallion is a lot of orange as well. And I love how that came up. So that really is only an effect that you're going to get with a gel press, isolating the colors and letting each the yellow and the pink shine through. The sprinkles on top of the yellow and the pink are paper artsy sprinkles. And on the green, I'm going to use a Ken Oliver one. Those color bursts are way more heavily pigmented, and so a little bit goes a long way, trust me on this. So I'm doing that last section in green there, my favorite, and I just work with it off screen a little bit because it needed to add a little bit more water. It needed to be more blended. Not off screen, I didn't do it off screen, I'm doing it right in front of you. I mean off of the gel press is what I mean. So I'm going to link down below to the message board because that is where this challenge is going to be posted. There will also be an album in the gallery that you can upload to directly to submit your submission for this, challenge. So as if that wasn't bright enough colors, I decided to go through and add acrylic paint. So I'm using these Bria Reese acrylic paints, and I'm just using a small brush and doing little strokes randomly around each color section. So I'm going with the colors that are on the medallion. So I do a couple pinks there, and then I add in that orange, and then I'm going to take that orange up to the yellow section because there is also orange in the yellow medallion. And when I'm doing this, please know, I know that it looks crazy. I know that it looks really wild, right? But once we add all of our layered die cuts, which is the purpose of this challenge, back on top, it really just gives it a great landing place and adds to the color explosion. And because we color block it, because I did it, I color block it, I feel like that helped the explosion of color not be too much. Okay, so we talk about with design principles a lot that it's always good to add in some black. Well, there's no black here, but this is navy blue, has the same effect, right? So in Paige's collection, she adds a lot of navy blue, and I think there are some accents here on this medallion paper. So I went in with navy blue and I added it in. I know it looks wild, but now I've let it completely dry, so be sure to let it completely dry. And then I go back in with white acrylic paint just to make it pop. And so I do the same technique on top of the same little clusters of acrylic paint that I've already put in. And look at that pop. I love it. It really brightens things up. And so all these multiple layers gives it really fun texture and depth to the page. Sorry if you hear the clacking, that's Belle. You know, if you watch my videos, you know, she thinks I'm talking to her. So, let me reiterate, let the bottom layer of paint dry before you add that white top, or it will blend and you don't, and well, if that's not what I wanted. So now everything is dried and I'm gonna go in with my layers of die cuts. So one way to really stretch your stash and your paper die cut ephemera is to layer it up with other die cut ephemera that you could cut from like a Cricut or from a Sizzix die cut machine, which if you go to my hop video, which will be posted later this morning, there is a chance to win a Sizzix Big Shot. What? That's insane. Cherry on Top is so generous with their National Scrapbooking Day prizes. So I have these little medallions that one is from 2D Designs, and then I have just like some circles. I think the florals are from Momenta, and the circles maybe are Hero Arts. And so I'm just layering them up as a base for the fussy cut medallions, which also can be considered like a die cut. And it just, again, it adds to the texture of the page and the buildup, and I just love it so much. So this is one of my favorite things to do to stretch my die cut ephemera packs, is to add additional manual die cuts underneath. And I do this a lot of times with foliage, and maybe in the message group I'll put a few examples of how I like to layer up die cuts. But my challenge to you is to create a page using layers and layers of die cuts, okay? And think in odd numbers. That is usually a really good design principle, like layer up 3 together, 5 together, gonna go wild, put 7 together. You know, that's just my tip to you. Whatever is pleasing to your eye will work though. So I put my photo there in the middle where that little white section was to cover it up. And there you can see how adding those layers of die cuts on top of that painted stuff kind of actually toned it down, even though the die cuts are really bright. But the background die cuts are mostly solid, so that helped tone down the painted areas as well. And now it's just fun little areas peeking out from around the pretty die cuts. So to finish this off, I'm going to use Paige's Wonders chipboard. I'm using the word happy from the chipboard, and it's going to say Happy Easter 2021 because that picture was taken this Easter. I also like that pop of navy blue because it matches my clothing in the photo. So those puffy little pink alphas are from Dear Lizzie, an older collection. I think I edited the E's or the F's to be E's there. And so there are medallions on that chipboard sheet, but they were just too much. There's already a lot going on in this page. So I just color blocked and added a couple little hearts and stars. And I sound like the leprechaun from Lucky Charms. But that was all the page really needed. I actually found some white sequins that are in the shape of flowers that I thought really went well with those white paint stripes. So that was my final touch. I hope you guys have enjoyed this layout. I am going to link down below with all the information that you need to know to participate in this National Scrapbooking Day Challenge. And I thank you for joining me. Please like and subscribe, and make sure to come on over to A Cherry on Top because we have so much fun going on today. Like, I can't wait to dive into all the prizes and stuff. Bye, y'all.